Have you noticed it? Out of nowhere, you want to open the windows, strip the bed, move the chair that has lived in the same corner for 6 months, throw away the jumper you never wear, clear the kitchen sides, clean the bathroom mirror until it actually shines. And maybe while you're at it, rethink your whole existence. It can feel almost irrational when it arrives. 1 minute you're carrying on as normal, and the next, there's this strong inner pull that says no, enough now, clear it, sort it, shift it, make space. And I don't think that urge is random. I think a lot of people assume spring cleaning is just habit or tradition, or one of those old-fashioned things people used to do because they had no better entertainment. But if you really stop and look at it, the urge to spring clean is much deeper than wiping skirting boards and finding old receipts in a drawer. It touches something ancient in us, something biological, something psychological, and I would say something spiritual too. Because what if the reason you suddenly want to clean your house is that part of you is trying to clean your life? Winter does something to human beings. Even when we cope well, even when we function, even when we keep going, winter has a way of making life narrower. The days are shorter, the light changes. Your body responds to that, whether you're thinking about it or not. Your rhythms shift, your energy shifts, your sleep can shift, your mood can shift. Some people feel it strongly. Other people just feel heavier and don't always have the words for it. You might stay indoors more, gather more around you, put things off a little longer. Leave that pile there, keep that bag there, keep that thought there, keep that feeling there. And then spring arrives, and it's almost as if the body starts whispering before the mind has caught up. There is more light, more movement, more signal. The nervous system begins to come out of that winter cave. And suddenly what felt tolerable before starts to feel too much. The clutter that blended into the background now feels loud. The stale air feels stale. The corners feel neglected. The wardrobe feels crowded. The mind feels overfull. And that to me is the interesting part. Because often what we call a cleaning urge is not really about dust. It is about friction. Your system is registering that something feels stuck. A messy room is never just visual. It has weight. It asks something of you. Even if you are not consciously focusing on it, part of your brain is still taking it in. The pile on the chair, the unopened post, the cupboard you know is chaos behind the door. It all creates a kind of low-level noise. Not a dramatic noise, just enough to gently pull at your attention all day long. That is why clutter can feel so strange. You get used to it until you don't. Then one morning, sunlight hits the room in a different way and suddenly you see everything. Not just the dust, the pause, the stagnation, the little evidence of all the moments you were too tired, too busy, too emotionally full to deal with it. And instead of feeling judged by that, I think it helps to see it another way. Maybe that moment is not you failing. Maybe that moment is your life asking to move again. Spring has always been tied to renewal, not in a cheesy quote on a mug kind of way. I mean in the oldest, simplest human sense. The world begins again. Trees bud, soil softens, light returns, animals change their behavior. The air itself feels different. So why would humans be the one part of nature that stays exactly the same? Of course we feel it. Of course something in us wants to stretch. Of course something in us starts looking around and asking, do I still need this? Does this still fit? Does this still feel like me? And that question is where spring cleaning becomes far more interesting than cleaning. Because there are always two houses. There is the house you live in physically, and the house you live in internally. The visible one has drawers and shelves and washing and crumbs in the toaster. The invisible one has old guilt, delayed decisions, emotional residue, memories attached to objects, versions of yourself you've outgrown, habits you keep promising to change, and strange little griefs you haven't named. That is why people often cry when they declutter. It's rarely about the object itself. It's about what it represented, who gave it to you, who you were when you bought it, what you hoped life would look like by now, what season of yourself you were trying to hold on to. Sometimes a broken mug isn't a broken mug. It's the last piece of an old chapter. Sometimes a wardrobe full of things that don't feel right isn't about fashion. It's about identity. Sometimes cleaning a kitchen isn't about being productive. It's about wanting to feel capable again. Sometimes opening the windows is the body saying, I need new air in more ways than one. And I think that is why spring cleaning feels so satisfying when it's real. Not rushed, not performative. Not done because some influencer said your life should look a certain way. I mean, when it comes from that quiet, honest place inside you that says, I'm ready now. I'm ready to clear what has been sitting here too long. There is something deeply healing about physical action when you've felt mentally or emotionally stuck. Washing, folding, sorting, sweeping, bagging things up. It gives form to an inner movement that is hard to describe in words. The hands begin to do what the psyche has been trying to do for weeks. That's why after cleaning one drawer, you suddenly want to tackle the whole room. It's not just momentum, it's relief. You are restoring a sense of agency. You are proving to yourself, without needing a dramatic speech about it, that change is possible, that things can move, that the atmosphere can shift, that your environment can reflect your intention instead of your exhaustion. And sometimes that matters more than people realize. Because human beings are porous. We are affected by the spaces we live in. The colors, the light, the textures, the noise, the order, the disorder. Home is not just where you keep your things. It is a mirror that talks back. It can soothe you, sharpen you, exhaust you, or hold you. When your surroundings are carrying too much unfinished energy, you often feel it as restlessness, as irritation, as that sensation of being unable to fully settle, even when nothing major is technically wrong. Then you clean one room properly, and suddenly you can breathe deeper. Not because your entire life has been transformed overnight, but because one layer of static has been removed. And that matters. I also think spring cleaning touches something symbolic that modern life has forgotten. In older times, seasonal living was more obvious. People noticed cycles because they had to. Light, food, weather, work, fire, cold, planting, storing, repairing. Life moved in visible rhythms. Now many people live under artificial light, artificial urgency, artificial sameness. 1 week bleeds into another, 1 month into the next. Screens flatten the seasons. The body still knows, but the mind is often late to the meeting. So when spring stirs something in you, it can feel oddly emotional. You're not just cleaning. You're rejoining a rhythm. You're remembering that you are allowed to begin again. Not because January told you to. Not because a planner said new goals. Not because the internet decided this is the week for self-improvement. But because your own system has reached a natural threshold and said, Now I'm ready to let some things go. Now I'm ready to see clearly again. Now I'm ready to stop living around the pile. Now I'm ready to make this place match the person I'm becoming. And that last part matters too. Because spring cleaning is often less about the past than the future. You start asking better questions. What do I want this room to feel like? What do I want my mornings to feel like? What am I tired of stepping over? What am I tired of postponing? Why am I keeping things that belong to an old version of me? That is where a simple clean can quietly turn into a reset. Not a dramatic burn your life down reset. Nothing like that. A steadier one, a wiser one. The kind where you move a lamp, clear a shelf, throw out what has expired, wipe a surface, and realize halfway through that what you're really doing is telling yourself the truth. I don't want to live in yesterday's energy anymore. I don't want to be buried under things I've already outgrown. I don't want my environment to keep echoing the versions of me that I've already survived. That is powerful. And I think we underestimate how much strength there is in these ordinary acts. People wait for huge turning points, huge signs, huge breakthroughs. But sometimes a life begins to change. Because someone cleaned out one cupboard and in doing so, remembered they were still here. Still choosing, still participating, still capable of shaping what surrounds them. So if you've been feeling that urge lately, that pull to open, clear, sort, wash, strip back, simplify, don't dismiss it as silly. Listen to it. Maybe your body is responding to light. Maybe your brain is tired of visual noise. Maybe your nervous system wants less chaos. Maybe your spirit is asking for room to breathe. Maybe all of it is true. And maybe that is the beauty of it. Maybe spring cleaning is one of those rare human instincts where biology, psychology, and soul all meet in the same gesture. A hand opening a window, a bag filled with what no longer belongs, a room made lighter, a person made lighter. So no, I don't think people spring clean just because the weather gets nicer. I think they do it because something ancient inside them recognizes the season before they've even found the words. The world is moving again. And quietly, deeply, something in you wants to move with it. Not to become someone else, not to perform a perfect life, just to return to a truer shape. To make space, to clear what has gathered, to let the light reach further in. And maybe that is why it feels so good when it's done. Not because the house is perfect, but because for a moment, you are no longer wrestling with heaviness that has overstayed its welcome. For a moment, the room breathes, and so do you. As always, this has been Valku. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time, be kind to yourself and others. Lanterns up, people.